There are only two things that I find totally unbelievable. Daniel Day-Lewis's performance as Abraham Lincoln. Who wants to hear the Gettysburg Address? And why people don't use this chord progression more, all right? This is gonna be a 1, 2, 5, 4 chord progression. We're gonna talk about it and talk about some cool creative ways that you can do this with chords that maybe you've never even played before that are super easy because they're not even bar chords. A lot of people will see my hand like this and they'll be like, oh, those look like difficult chords. But they're actually not bar chords. They low-key might look like them, but they are not. So we're gonna do this in the key of C first, then we're gonna move it around and just talk about how really versatile this is and how it's super easy because you get to kind of keep one hand position throughout the entire thing, all right? So, start off in the key of C, C major 7 chord. Already you're proving that you're classy. Way classier than that Daniel Day-Lewis hack. So stupid. All right, we got 3 on the A string, 5 on the D string, 4 on the G string, 5 on the B string right there, okay? So now your pinky is gonna be of utmost importance here because we're gonna use this to pivot from the 1 chord to the 2 chord, okay? So in the key of C, the 1 chord is C major, the 2 chord, the second note in the key of C is D. It's usually a minor chord. Sometimes you'll play it like this, sometimes you'll play it like this, maybe even like a minor 7 chord. We're gonna play a minor 9 chord, okay? So, C major 7, D minor 9. So you can keep your pinky right where it is, and then your middle finger goes to the 5th fret on the A string, your pointer finger grabs the 3rd fret on the D string, and your ring finger comes down to the 5th fret on the G string. Right here, this is a great exercise, just to go back and forth, right? Because it is kind of like a micro movement here. That is always just a great way to go from the 1 chord to the 2 chord in any key, right? D major, E minor 9, E major, F sharp, minor 9, so on and so forth. This has a cool ring to it, right? It sounds way different than C, D minor. Again, not the one's better than the other. We're just kind of going through different options, different like fun chord progressions that you can do, all right? Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to go to the 5 chord, okay? So C, D, E, F, G. G major is the 5 chord, right? Play G major like this. I know you've done this, but now we're gonna play a G major 6 chord, okay? All that means is you add the 6th note away from G to the chord that you already have. G, A, B, C, D, E. So we're adding an E to a G chord. Now, when we're coming from this, or even the C major 7, it's really easy. In fact, let's take it from the C chord to the G chord first, and then we'll take it from the D chord to the G chord after that. All you do is you move your pointer finger to the 3rd fret on the E string, and your ring finger to the 5th fret on the A string, okay? G6. Gotta love it, right? Now, the important thing to note here is that the D string, I'm not getting a note down here. If you want to make it like a dominant 7 sound, you can bar that. But I'm actually just choosing not to sound out that D string because it's actually easier to do it that way anyway, right? C, D minor 9. You can also get the open E on top if you want. I kind of think just keeping the pinky as the E right there just really solidifies that because again, that has been our common tone note the entire time. And it's really just kind of like a good lesson in really harmony and chord building. And it's like, all right, well, here is E in the context as the 3rd of C. Here is E in the context as the 9th, D minor 9 of D. Here's E as the context of the 6 of G. So aside from just learning a cool new chord progression, you're actually training your ears to be like, all right, maybe I like this type of sound. And then the more thoughtful you are about that kind of thing, I think the more creative you can get with your songwriting. Well, speaking of songwriting, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video. It is DistroKid, the only way to get your music heard online. Basically, it's like one low yearly cost, and you can put unlimited amounts of music online. And it'll put it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all the other ones that maybe you use, maybe you don't even use. The value that you get on DistroKid is like so phenomenally good that it just blows my mind, right? so many different like add-ons and stuff. You don't have to worry, like if you have like a cover song or something going on, they'll take care of everything, like all the licensing and stuff for that for you. Plus you can also just do it from like an app on your phone now. All you need is the file and then like a piece of artwork that you want to use, and then you can get your stuff up on Spotify and just like have people listening to it super quick. So, you know, if you've got ambitions to write music or anything like that, or even just like instrumentals, DistroKid is the only way to go because it's just so inexpensive, and it tracks all your money and stuff like that, and has a bank, and everything is super easy. So they've been one of my biggest sponsors for a long time now. Huge fan of DistroKid. I use the service literally every month. And yeah, thank you to them for sponsoring the video. So I'll have an affiliate link in the description. You guys can save some money off of a subscription if you use that link. Now let's go to the 4 chord. My favorite chord in any key. All right? The beautiful thing about this, 5 to 4, and what's the 4 chord in the key of C? C, D, E, F, right? You just move it back 2 frets, okay? So now I'm lined up with the 1st fret. And again, none of these are bar chords. It might look like my pointer finger is holding down stuff, but like, honestly, it's just holding strings in place to not mute them. F6, so basically an F, a root, it's 5th, it's major 3rd, and then the 6th note of F is D. F, G, A, B, C, D, right? Also, the cool thing about this shape is you can move this around wherever you want, right? If I wanted to kind of keep that same shape to resolve, because there are 3 major chords in a key, I can go from there's the 1 chord, right? We didn't use this as a 6th chord. We used this as a major 7 chord to start out with. So you'd resolve on C. So here, let's listen to it resolve 3 different ways. We're going to resolve it on C major 7, where we started. Then we'll resolve it as just a regular C major triad. And then we'll resolve it as a like-minded chord, a C major 6 at the end. Okay, so 1 chord, 2, 5, 4, major 7, 1, 2, 4, a triad, right? Very closed. It doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. 5, 4. Well, that's kind of interesting, right? Because now we've got a C6 where my pinky is holding down. It's the same shape. I just go to the 8th fret. Kind of a classy way to end it because you have the likeness of that. What is the 6 of C? C, D, E, F, G, A. So now you also know that that note right there is an A. A great way to do this is to just practice it in different keys so you get the intervals between everything kind of squared away. The official key of 2025 is the key of E major. So let's just move the whole thing down to the 7th fret of the A string right there. 1 chord. I don't even need to know the names of the chords now because I just know that this will always give me what I'm searching for, right? Now, again, it's always super helpful to know the names of the chords. E major, 7, F sharp, minor 9, B, 6, A, 6, E. So again, just a really quick way, another chord progression that you can kind of like get under your belt that is a very efficient way to move. You don't have to do a lot of hand movement. You're just kind of jumping around, and the more that you can start moving different fingers at the same time, and again, something as simple as for this, right there, it's like your pinky's the anchor, your ring finger just goes down a string, your middle finger goes to the root note, and your pointer finger goes down a string. It's like it's easier said than done at first, right? But once you get it down, it's like, okay, now all my fingers are hunting for this shape in a way that makes sense, that is super musical, that is going to inspire your songwriting, especially if you get the Sean Daniels signature Martin guitar. Affiliate link for that in the description too. Then write some songs, write some great music, and then do Abraham Lincoln justice. Maybe write some freedom songs. I don't know. Do whatever you want, but use DistroKid because they're a great service. And if you have any questions or comments, send me in the comment section, Instagram, the website. I'll talk to you all soon.